Good to see you, old friend.
Good to have you back, boss.
Welcome back.
So I've got a second G.I. Joe story for you. They want you to forget about the first one, but there's also stuff from the first one you need to know for this story to make sense, so I'm not really sure where it stands.
That other one don't count.
Anyway, here's G.I. Joe Retaliation.
They live to terrorize me.
So Duke and his team are going into North Korea to get a defector out of the DMZ, but they need to get past the fence. So Roadblock uses these super heating gloves that melt metal, but not his exposed skin.
It's so interesting. This is where science has come.
They go in after Mouse shoots this guy's teacup as a distraction, even though no one was even looking in that area. But they were directly under a spotlight, so maybe it was just precautionary.
Joe style.
They get the guy and make their way out. But this guy Flint risks the mission to hang a flag of their secret military organization that I'm sure wouldn't want to take credit for this.
That's on the rise. Like your panties.
You love my panties.
But who cares? Because this part of the story is not important at all. Except that we get to meet Duke's new team.
Play Joes? Hell no. They're jokes.
The real story starts when the president of Pakistan is killed, and there are riots going on.
Bam!
At the Pentagon, the president, who we know is Zartan, you know, the whistly guy from the first story, he wants to go in and get the nukes before anyone else can get them. So they call the Joes, who we were also introduced to as a world organization.
Technically, GIJoe does not exist, but if it did, it'd be comprised of the top men and women from the best military units in the world, the Alpha Dogs.
But that doesn't stop the US from using them for personal errands, though.
I'll take 2 cases of Thin Mints and a box of Chuckalux.
By the time the Joes get there, somebody already has them apparently, so they have to launch an assault on the building. But even though they sent 8 planes on the mission, only this one with 12 people actually goes into the building.
You lost, little man?
Lady J shows off her new remote-controlled bullets, and Roadblock cures Mouse's anxiety. He's nervous about his first drop, which I'm sure jumping out of a plane is scary.
Is he wearing a parachute? No.
But he makes him chew on a bullet, so he can gently be lowered 10 feet.
Ready with that 18-year-old aim?
But he seems fine when they go inside, and are under fire, because he uses the remote control bullet that he was just introduced to perfectly when he needs to save Duke from a guy sneaking up behind him.
Distinguished marksman.
But other than that, they don't have any problems getting the weapons out.
When all else fails, we don't.
Duke tells the president that they got the nukes.
That boy.
So he goes to tell the real president that he's planning on killing the Joes.
G.I. Joes
are about to be out of the picture.
And by
Out of the picture.
I mean alive on Earth.
What?
He also cuts his own face to show off his old face, in case the president forgot somebody was pretending to be him.
My name's not Brenda.
He also stupidly allows the Secret Service agents to wear Cobra pens for anyone who's ever heard of the terrorist organization to notice. We also find out that it's only been a few months since the first story, and somehow Duke, the guy that they weren't sure if they were going to let into the Joes in the first place,
You don't ask to be part of GIJoe. You get asked.
is now in charge of them.
Detail, attention!
Did the original team die or something? But also in this time, Zartan is just getting around to asking the president where they're keeping Cobra Commander and Destro. And I might add that these 2 names were ones that they didn't come up with until he was already on a separate mission.
You will call me Commander.
We go back to the Joes, where we see that despite being in charge, Duke doesn't understand basic military terms.
Wait, how do you call an airstrike? What about one of those, like, care package thingies?
Roadblock sees a firefly and suspects something, but this causes him not to notice the incoming helicopters that start shooting at them.
Who's shooting me?
So Flint trips, and Duke has to go save him. He pushes him down about 3 feet from where he was, and not even behind cover. They get back up and behind a Jeep, where Duke pushes Flint out from behind it right before he gets missiled.
Well, at least he died saving him.
No, he just pushed him out like he wanted him to get shot or something.
Come on, best 2 out of 3. Nope.
But Duke gets dead, and Jay, Block, and Flint jump into a well right before they blow up everything around the nuclear warheads they were sent to get. Zartan blames the assassination of the president of Pakistan on Snake Eyes and says the Joes tried to steal the nukes. He also says that his new elite force called Cobra stopped them.
Do people not remember that Cobra attacked the Eiffel Tower a few months ago?
Apparently not.
The French are pretty upset.
That would be the same as calling them ISIS or Al-Qaeda and expecting a good reaction. But no one says anything and just think the Joes suck and Cobra rules because the president says so.
Your approval ratings climbed 9 points.
I'm a very big fan.
Back in the well, the Joes waited a few hours before they decided to crab walk out of it. They look at all the damage and figure out that only the president is capable of sending helicopters to shoot at stuff on the ground in the desert.
I get to blow stuff up.
They find an airport that was hiding over a small dune and say they're going home. We then go to this prison where they're bringing in Snake Eyes and are nice enough to let him keep his armor and helmet because why not?
Cool mask.
They plan on chemically paralyzing him and making him scuba dive for his prison sentence with Cobra Commander and Destro. But it turns out that it's really Storm Shadow that got arrested, and that's why they didn't take his mask off. They wanted a dramatic reveal and also show that there clearly wasn't a fair trial or even prisoner processing for that matter.
I thought he died.
Well, he was stabbed and thrown off a platform. That doesn't mean he died. I mean, he should have died. But people like the character, so they brought him back. But once they get him into the containment tube, he stops his own heart. I guess ninjas can do that.
Damn ninjas.
They want to revive him, but take off his helmet and leave him underwater while they check his pulse. But when he tries to escape, they're ordered to kill him.
But that makes sense.
But despite him being injected with chemicals that paralyze your body, Storm Shadow gets out of the tube and has perfect control of his person. So after he takes out all the guards, he gets the swords and takes the koozies off the handles because he needs to accessorize his outfit when escaping a maximum security prison.
Doesn't go with the outfit.
More guards come in, and they forget how guns work and all get stabbed.
Anyone ever tell you fight ugly?
A guy outside that released a bunch of fireflies blows them up and then rides his motorcycle into the gate, but jumps off because it's actually not a motorcycle, but 6 missiles in the shape of a motorcycle, giving a new meaning to the term crotch rocket.
You're joking, of course.
This blows up the front door, and the guy who is actually called Firefly takes out the rest of the guards. Storm Shadow frees the Cobra Commander, who also instantly regains motor functions, but they decide to leave Destro behind because why wouldn't you want your weapons engineer working for you again? That's like saying you don't need Tony Stark on your team.
I told you I don't want to join your super secret boy band.
You're out of the band.
I suggest you apologize.
But on the way out, the warden shoots the air conditioner, and Storm Shadow gets burnt pretty bad.
You scrape your elbow?
But as they escape, we see that the real Snake Eyes is watching. They then go to their base and discuss their evil plan. Zartan points out a snag though. It seems that they voice printed all the Joes at some point and picked them up talking in the desert and know that 3 of them survived.
Oh, the 3 of you are like my fantasy football team.
Snake Eyes goes to see the blind master who has him fight this girl, and it seems that this ninja clan loves introducing people with plenty of exposition.
Jinx, cousin to Storm Shadow.
Hello, brother. They know that Storm Shadow is being healed by this woman who uses a combination of ancient healing herbs and lasers, so they have to get him while he's weakened so they can question him. The Joes get back to DC and hide out in a rundown rec center. Because they assume the president launched the attack on them, they're now 100% certain it's him.
There's only one man who could authorize a strike like that. And I voted for him.
With no evidence, and launch an investigation on him. Lady Jay then sends out a signal where they say where they are and that they need help.
Wouldn't the president know about the channel?
Shut up. It's exclusively for Joes. No one would ever listen in to a restricted station, especially not anyone from the US government.
The only one I trust out there is Snake Eyes.
Roadblock explains that he became a Joe when they were recruiting in the hood, and he was a teenage boxer.
I thought they took the best of the best from all the militaries around the world.
Well, that, and apparently kids that punch hard. But his time boxing made him stronger, so he thinks that being beat up before puberty is the same as taking down the President of the United States.
Let's kick that ass.
Lady Jay noticed that the President stopped saying soda and started saying pop, so now she thinks he's being impersonated by some Midwestern turd.
He is trash! Trash! Trash!
They know that they need backup, so they impatiently ring this general's doorbell and then go inside when the door opens itself. General Colton, who must be part Spider-Man, comes down from the ceiling and asks what they want. Block dumps a bunch of dog tags on his table and explains their fake president theory.
I'm gonna need something a little more to go on than overlapping thumbs.
Oh, they must not have told him about the pop theory.
Can I trust you with nothing?
They kidnap the chief of staff using Jay's ass.
You know, in the name of the children.
Which is really funny because she has this whole thing about not getting respected as a woman in the military.
Shut your mouth, Brenda.
And she tells Flint this while he's trying to watch her undress.
Forgive me. It's an army I'd like to enlist in.
But they end up kidnapping the secretary and finding out where the president's going to be. Snake Eyes and Jinx go to the mountain retreat that Storm Shadow is at, and when he gets cleared to leave, they make it rain ninjas.
Almost calls for a snuggie.
Storm Shadow throws ninja stars at Snake Eyes, and he machine guns them down, but never thinks to shoot at him.
You're not gonna kill your best asset.
Jinx comes in a window and has to fight the old medicine lady. She knocks her old ass out and goes to chloroform Storm Shadow and put him in a sleeping bag. They then go extreme ziplining, followed by a bunch of sword fighting while swinging on ropes, where they don't think about cutting the cords half the time.
Your enemy will show you no mercy.
More ninjas show up, but Snake Eye starts an avalanche to kill them and get away with the Storm Shadow burrito.
Delicious.
Apparently the Joes had the chief of staff invite Lady Jay to this fundraiser, and the Cobra Secret Service agent suspects her because she was at the bottom of the list and runs a facial recognition on her because of it. Apparently she was just trying to get a DNA sample from the president, and she gets a hair, but with the way he's acting, she could have gotten more.
I don't take no for an answer.
They identify her as a Joe and get Zartan out of there. Roadblock was gonna shoot him, but some lightning bugs show up, and he gets scared and runs away.
Yeah, they're gonna explode.
Well, yeah, they do explode, but he's never seen that before, so he just saw some lightning bugs and took off running.
Not the first time you've seen a girl running out of the room screaming.
Firefly starts fighting Roadblock, but Flint hits him with a car.
Drive it like you stole it.
The Blind Master questions Storm Shadow about why he killed the Hard Master, and after all this time, they never clean the blood off the sword he killed him with. But he takes a gamble to show him it wasn't his sword, and it works. You see, this sword is a piece of crap, and it breaks, so it couldn't be his.
What a piece of junk.
He figures out that Zartan killed him and framed a 9-year-old so he could recruit him for an organization that wouldn't exist for another 15 years. That makes as much sense as getting ghetto boxers. The ninjas meet with the Joes, and Storm Shadow catches them up on the plan.
It's a trap.
What are you talking about?
It's a trap!
They go get General Colton, who must never cook because he keeps guns under the burners, and his kettle is glued between two of them. He also has no cabinet space.
I'm not too impressed with your cabinet.
Open up that couch.
Or comfortable furniture. And Colton also brings some geezers to help. Roadblock gives the breakdown of his plan, but doesn't tell the team that he has part of it covered, so it can be a surprise.
Leave the tanks to me.
Zartan has a summit where they're going to disarm all the nuclear warheads, where he asks them to get rid of all their bombs, and when they say no, he declares war on the other 7 nuclear powers.
Well, how come when the general says it sounds crazy?
He launches all of America's nukes, and they launch all theirs back. I might add that everybody launched all of their nukes by pushing one button, and not a single person held one back, just in case.
I'm the quicker blower-upper, baby.
He self-destructs all of his, and they follow suit. So now no one has bombs. He then breaks out another case that controls satellites that launch warheads, and he destroys London.
I never get bored.
The Joes launch their attack, which includes a missile-launching dune buggy, and shooting the president.
You mean that they shoot Zartan?
No, Jay shoots the president.
Dude, completely inappropriate.
Sorry, Mr. President.
So they can shoot the Secret Service guy holding him hostage.
Why wouldn't she just use one of the bullets that are remote controlled?
Maybe they only had that one. Or maybe Mouse was the only one who could use them. I don't know.
When did we get these?
We didn't. We did.
So Storm Shadow kills Zartan fairly easily after he admits that he killed the Hard Master and gets so angry that he cuts a bullet in half. Firefly ran off with the case, but runs into Roadblock. To get away from him, he jumps on a boat, but throws off other people who could have shot at Roadblock as they escape. He immediately crashes, and they have a fight while the satellites line up over the major cities. Roadblock gets the case and hits the override button that not only stops the launch, but blows up the satellites for some reason. Firefly tries to send one of his bugs to kill Roadblock, but Roadblock stole the trigger and blows it up in his face because he was too stupid to let it go.
It's good to know we're not running low on crazy.
So the real president gets back in office and clears the Joes' names. Unfortunately, Cobra Commander got away, but Roadblock's kids don't think he's dead anymore, so I guess that's a win.
Hell yeah.
And all of you can subscribe.
All at the push of a button.
As your good friend, you need a new catchphrase.
Can't scratch my ass this time without getting on the watch list.